Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight my guest is Sabine Wieger. Hey,
Hi,
Sabine.
Laurie.
It's funny, we were looking at something, I'm reusing a tape for one of these, and it was when Sabine was on the show in 2012, so she's a long time favorite guest of mine. So thank you for,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, and she's been on this show before. Points of the coaching game is based on, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about that, and I'll tell you a little bit about Sabine. Points of view, the coaching game was developed in Israel, and by what I call two geniuses. And it is a series of 65 cards, which we have laid out here, that are based on pictures and words that are designed to bring right and left brain thinking together. And the results are usually pretty amazing. Sabine and I have been using this for quite a while now. And what we're going to do tonight is use it to do some coaching. And I'll tell you how that process is done. But Sabine, first tell us a little bit about what kind of coaching you do and how long you've been a coach. And
yeah, I have been coaching for several years now. I'm internationally certified coach, and I'm mainly working with people who want to change their career, want to maybe get into their own business. So changing the career into having their own business or doing something completely different. So it's career coaching, and I coach mainly with people who are transitioning in a different country. So example, somebody from the US moving to Europe.
Is that called like expat or something?
So exactly.
Yeah.
So that's mainly, or European people moving to the US.
She speaks like a whole bunch of languages. So.
Thank you, but it's only two.
That's two more than me, but okay. Yes. And so you're transitioning them either from the United States to a Scandinavian country, or vice versa, or?
Well, they're already in the new country.
Okay.
And they need to find out what is the new culture about. What do I need in this country to know about a job? What jobs are actually available for me and my background, for my skills, for my uniqueness? And yeah, it goes either people from Europe moving to the US, and I have been living here quite some while, so I notice, I know how different it is being European. And it's very different if you're coming from the US and you want to get a job in Europe, how different it is there. And I mainly coach people from the German-speaking countries, Austria, Switzerland, and Germany.
Ah, okay. And do you also do some like culture awareness? Because I know that's a big problem, especially I will say like in Japan, differences in hiring and how to interview and everything. And I think I know there's a difference also.
That's a huge difference, yes. So the resume is written differently, the interview questions are very different. Screening calls are different if there are some. So it's very different. Yes, I'm doing a lot about cultural adaptations. What do you need to know, how are the differences? But it really depends on the person. And sometimes just want to learn about the culture and do some education that brings them in that new country where they need to be in order to get a good job.
Yeah. Do you find you're working with like spouses of expat because they are the forgotten people? Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. Yeah,
the people who have come for the new jobs, they have a community already. Yeah, but the spouses are just like,
that's the ones.
What am I doing here?
Yeah. It's I love that. It's really nice, and it's very nice to share my experiences with these two cultures. So it's very nice. I really enjoy that.
And you coach from both the United States and Austria, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Cool.
Wherever I am right now.
And there's always Skype and all that stuff,
Exactly.
so that's good. All right, so what we're going to do is, even though you're coaching, Sabine was saying, and I love the way she put it, she says, I have an issue. She goes, I'm not using my coaching time efficiently. So we're going to try to deal with that today, and hopefully we'll see what we come up with. We both, let me say, we've even done workshops together with points of view cards, so we really trust the cards. So let me show you a little bit of the tools that you get with this, which is amazing. What we're going to do is, these are the focus notes, and I've already asked Sabine to fill one of these out, and what I told her to do was put her issue down at the bottom here. And so she has put, I'm not using coaching time efficiently. Okay, so that's going to be her issue, and I'm going to keep track of your cards for you over here. And what we're going to do is use one of the layout charts with points of view coaching game. And this one is past, present, and future. Wow, look at that. Close-ups and all. So let me just read what the layout objective is. It's to shed light on a process in her life that began in the past, is continuing in the present, and is expected to continue in the future too. Hopefully not. To facilitate a broader perspective along the timeline and to identify the potential. We've asked her to choose an issue from her life that she'd like to take a closer look at. And that could be a problem, a choice, an ongoing process, a relationship, and more. Write down the issue clearly on the focus note and place it here. Okay. And the examples and this layout is past, present, future. The example would be like, how do I handle money manners? So what we're going to do with you is how do I handle time manners? Or how do I conduct myself in the framework of a relationship with my life partner? We're not dealing with that. We don't want to deal with that. So what we're going to do is, Sabine, and we always do the cards face down because they're magic cards.
Exactly.
And they sort of choose us. So we're going to ask Sabine to choose 3 cards face down, whichever one calls you. Okay. 2. Great. Okay. Now, and what we're going, there are 3 questions here that go with each of the cards. My game is so new that I should have ironed this. Sorry. Okay, so the first one is, what happened in the past? Okay, and the card she chose is, excuses.
Oh, it's such a perfect card.
So what I'd like you to do is, I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
So what I'd like you to do is answer that question, what happened in the past, through this card, if you can.
Yeah, well, it's again, as always with these cards, it fits perfectly because I don't want to change how I'm working. I find always an excuse why I'm keeping doing it that way, because it's good how it is. It's fine. I will be fine with everything else. But if I continue working how I'm doing it, I'm always late with everything, and it's always a very long day. So that's the reason why I want to change it. But it's really the word excuses is just an excuse. I always find an excuse why I'm not changing it.
What's the benefit of not changing it?
I don't need to think of a new workflow. I don't need to think about options. So I can just stay in my comfort zone and do it how I know it works.
Okay, well, I'm going to do pull out the old scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, how anxious or how ready are you to make some changes in your work
on a 10
procedure?
Yeah,
a 10.
I really want to do it differently. I just haven't found an easy way to do it. And then also, excuses. It's fine. I'm changing it later. It's fine.
It'll all work out. Okay, when you say easy, what does easy mean to you?
When did I say easy?
You said you haven't found an easy way to do it.
Well, right now, what my issue is, to explain it a little bit better, is I'm coaching for an hour, but the preparation and the follow-up with notes and everything takes more than 2 hours. And easy would be if I can stay everything in an hour and my coachee leaves being prepared with not waiting for my notes on assignments, on homework, on summaries, and so on. That would be my ideal case scenario. Yeah, I haven't found an easy way. It's just saying I just don't know how to do it in a different way.
So you commit an hour to them for coaching, and then you follow up with notes and assignments and things like that. Yeah. And you charge for how much? An hour,
an hour and a half?
Hour, 1 hour, okay. How satisfied are you with what you're charging?
Well, as I'm working with a partner company, this amount is not going to be changeable.
Okay,
so I need to work in the time,
Okay, so that's a
So it actually hurts my time management and yeah, it hurts me to spend
You
a
know
lot
what I
more.
want to do just for fun, because also each card, it's amazing, each card has a number at the bottom, and then it corresponds to a story or a book or something. And the number at the bottom of this is 99. So, and
98, I think.
I'm sorry. Well, okay. And I have glasses on now. That's really sad. So it has a story. It has quotes, which I think are great, and they also have coaching questions. So I think one of the questions here I want to ask you, it's like, what role do excuses play in my life? And why do I need them?
Oh, they're such great questions.
Aren't they?
Yeah. What do excuses play in?
What role do they play in your life here?
For time management, a big role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it always hurts my time and my free time. And I always, yeah, it's fine. It's going to be fine. Doing my own stuff later. It's always an excuse. They're playing a very big role.
So, and you need them to justify continue doing what you're doing?
Yeah, just it's always about staying in the comfort zone, right? Because I know what works.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, if I don't need to change it, it's going to be, yeah, I don't need to change it. So it's in the comfort zone. It takes longer, but I know it's a proven system.
And you know it works.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is a common problem for all coaches, because we do, even when I'm doing mentor coaching, which is a definite time, and I'm always running over. So you're not alone. All right, let's go. You ready to go to the second one?
Yep.
What is happening now? Oh my goodness. And the card she chose was
Unbelievable.
pain. So tell me about the pain that is happening now.
This is again such a perfect card. Well, it hurts me. It seriously hurts me. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
It's just cutting so much into my personal time that I'm staying with these long workflows. It's pain. It hurts me.
How has the pain affected your coaching?
The coaching is not affected by that. I think that people value that they get, well, I hope so. Maybe I should just do a survey, because I've never asked how often they're actually looking at
Am I good? Check one, yes or no?
Well, if they're looking at the summary, if they're looking at the homework, I don't even know. So maybe it's not even necessary to do it.
I was thinking, do you find yourself maybe not doing as much coaching because it takes, instead of an hour, it's taking 2 hours out of your time?
No, that coaching is not affected by that. I really want that my people I coach get the best coaching possible. So I'm not writing, other than writing notes, yes, but I'm not preparing already the follow-up notes.
So quality is really the priority of your coaching.
Yes,
So,
that's it.
all right, I'm just curious. Let's go to pain and see what they got to say on pain 116. Hold on. Okay. So, does pain bring awareness?
Yeah, now we are sitting here with that topic. That's the awareness.
Now that you're on air, does that make you aware? Yeah. Ha. Okay.
I'm going to read these stories later because
Definitely,
they're
yeah, the
very
stories
helpful.
are great. They're either like folk tales or Sufi folklore or Chinese It's really some great stuff in there. In another circumstance where you're feeling pain, and let's say not. Let's rule out physical pain. When you're feeling like mental anguish or anxiety, how do you deal with that? How do you alleviate that pain?
I usually go for a run. I do sports.
Yeah. So you answer the mental with the physical. Yeah.
Well, it's actually it's listening to music and running, so it gives me that balance back. But because of that, I need to cut it. So I'm cutting my balance time because I don't have the time.
Okay, so what we have are, so let's summarize this and tell me if I'm right or wrong. But what you're saying is, you know that the system is taking too much of your time, but you're making excuses. So, or you have in the past made excuses so that it will, it will continue to be the same because you don't want to go into something more complex or more difficult or new. You just don't want to do that. However, what's happening now is it's causing you pain. Oh, go ahead. No, clarify. Please.
Well, I want to do it if I find a way how to do it.
Okay.
I want to change that because it really cuts into my time. So if I find, or if I research maybe what are other coaches are doing, but actually you just gave me already an insight before. Maybe I just really need to ask, do you need a summary of what we talked about? Or ask the coachee, do you need that? Or do you have everything? Yeah. Maybe it's not necessary.
Yeah. Because on a personal level, I wouldn't want a summary. I'd want to make my own summary.
Okay.
Because you might hit highlights that you think were highlights, but I want to make my own. But that would be me, and your clients might be very spoiled and used to you doing that. But it definitely might be worth asking that question. Yeah.
And asking, do you need a summary?
Yeah.
Or do you want a summary?
Yeah.
If maybe they don't need that. Maybe I just have it summarized by them in the end of the session.
Would this summary take the place of your personal notes? No, you just enhance your notes and give them the summary, or
so the summary,
because you've got to take notes for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's actually a one-pager where I just put in a neutral way, this is the topics we talked about, and these are the homeworks and the assignments until when. That's it.
Okay. Well, I think already we've got a great a great idea coming just to see, okay. All right, so let's go to what potential is there? Oh my God, and the card is, just be. And that is just be. What does that mean to you? Just be. I got to write that down.
I just love these cards.
I do too.
Always on the spot.
It's kind of scary.
It actually just tells me that just what we just said. Maybe it's not necessary to do it, and just the summary and everything. I think it's expected, and just do the coaching, and that's it. And I know that from the feedback I get from my coaches, so it works. So it might not be even necessary that they need that. So just be me. Just do how I know it works well, without cutting in my personal time.
Where did the idea of the summary come from?
I think it was because I feel like I forget a lot of... When I'm coaching, I'm so focused, I'm not writing all the notes, so it came from the feeling that if I want to look back, at least I know what it was. So because I forget things, because I'm so concentrated on coaching that I don't make enough notes. I think that was the reason why I, in the first place, did these summaries. I remember years ago when I started to coach, my summaries were 3 pages long. Now I have only 1 page.
I'm so glad you got out of that. Yeah. So the summaries also benefit you.
But if you ask me now, how often did I look back? It was probably 1 time.
Right. So
maybe the solution could be that I just review after the coaching session my own notes, that if I need to look back, I know what we talked about and what the results were and what the homeworks were. But just the handwriting, that's it. And not sending anything to a coachee. That
seems a little too simple, doesn't it? But
if somebody doesn't need a summary, why not?
Exactly. Well, how about, and let's say they do feel the need for a summary. I'm not sure. I think I would prefer or feel more comfortable if you were in control of whether the summary was being sent or not. So let's talk a little bit about, if you didn't send the summary, what would be essential in your notes for yourself? And if I would say I'd leave it the option to, if they want a summary, they could ask for it.
But just when you were saying that, I got an insight, and I'm like, you're right. I should not actually give that as an option. I should actually do it that way, that the last 5-10 minutes are to summarize from the coachee, what did you just get out of this? What do you feel? Can you summarize what your homeworks are? What are your assignments? And until when are you going to do these?
And then you be writing like a crazy person, and that's your notes. That's your summary.
These are my notes.
Yeah. How comfortable is that?
Oh, very. Just be very comfortable. I just need to do it that way and just make it clear in the beginning of the coaching session that we're going to have room in the last 10 minutes to summarize everything and give her the feeling, now you're in good hands, you know what to do next.
Your next steps are. Yeah. So what would you include in that 10 minutes? It would be a summary of the coaching session.
Yeah, but the coachee is doing the summary because that's talking it out loud is...
So you've already handed over a lot of the responsibility.
And it's so much more effective than reading my summary that they might not even look at.
Exactly.
Isn't it so simple?
Yes, it is. Once you change the perspective, which is the whole idea. So what we do now is, and you could continue to coach on that, but on the back of this focus thing, it's like, okay, what is the most significant insight from this process that you got?
Oh, my most significant insight is that I'm not going to do summaries anymore. I have the coachee summarize it and make, in the beginning of the coaching session, I explain the agenda. The last 10 minutes are really to summarize and talk about homework on assignments.
And they summarize.
It.
You note what they think is important.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's going to be handwriting in my notes. And that's it.
Amazing.
Yay.
Amazing. And so it's like, okay, and then the last part of that is, how do I express the insight in my life? Okay, so it's like, okay, what action, and it's really broken down. It's like, what are you going to do tomorrow? What's the first thing you can do in 24 hours? What's the thing you can do in a week and then in a month? So, and if we were doing this for real, and we are doing this for real. I think you're really going to do this.
Yeah, I will do that. Absolutely.
You would write down, it's like, so what's the first thing you could do starting in 24 hours?
Well, next coaching session is exactly going to work how we just said it.
Okay. Does that include explaining to the person that you won't be sending them a summary anymore? Or,
it will... I was just thinking that I will say that I found a tool that's more powerful, and that's having them summarize it. And I know they actually have more out of that than getting it in writing.
That is so positive, and that's exactly what a coach does. Rather than go, well, you're not going to get a summary anymore. It's like, okay, what are they going to get? So what are they going to get positively?
They have a lot more from it by summarizing it themselves.
Yes, and then you're not interpreting what they're saying. They're interpreting. That doesn't mean that she's not going to be taking notes on what she feels is important. But it's like, okay, fantastic. Yeah. So, all right, and then upcoming weeks and months, is that just the way it's going to be?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Very good. It's I can't believe how simple that is.
3 cards. I know, it's just amazing. 3 cards.
But these cards were again.
Yes. So what you would do is give your client, if you have this game, and you can cut out pictures in a magazine, you can make your own cards, whatever you want to do. But you would write down the cards that they chose. It'd be hard if you don't have the cards, truthfully. And then in the back, you would just have them take away. What was their insight and how are they going to follow it through? So tell me, what obstacles or what difficulties did you have while you were doing this? Was it because it's very hard to be coached on air, and it's hard to coach on air also. So
make it really easy and fun. I'm just amazed by these cards. Always. Whenever we use it, I use it with clients. It always hits it on the point. These are my perfect cards.
Yeah,
for this
right
situation.
Now. And and it was the perfect layout. So it's. I don't know. I think what I learned from this was that it's a shift in perspective, perspective, not perspection, perspective. And it's just a matter of looking at things one way all the time, and then just changing one little thing, and then suddenly it opens it up, right?
Well, it's what I love about that, and you know how much I love to coach with you or being coached by you. You just have these hints that trigger something in me. And when you said something that I'm like, hey, wait, they don't even maybe read it. I don't even know. And this is just what triggers these insights.
Absolutely, and you do the same for me, and it's like, so I'm just sort of shooting in the dark and going, okay, maybe, but I think the cards help to get you focused on that, and it's like, okay, this is causing you pain. Who is it benefiting? And it's like, well, wait a minute.
If I don't even know if they're reading it.
Exactly, and for you it was benefiting because you were taking notes, but now what you decided is, okay, in the last 15 minutes or 10 minutes,
and I looked back in this last year one time what I had written down. That was the only thing, the only time. Otherwise, I'm going really to my handwritten notes.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to the summary.
No, I mean, it's a nice thing to have, and I always thought it was added value, truthfully, but I didn't do it because I knew it took a lot of time. But I'm not sure it's added value now that we've done this because, like you said, it's like this is our viewpoint of what they said, whereas it's far more valuable if you get their viewpoint of what they absorbed from the session. So, Miss Sabine, tell us, what are you going to be doing with coaching in this? Well, we only have 2 months left in the year, but do you have anything exciting planned? Are you going to be in Austria for the rest of the year?
Yes, I'm going to be in Austria, back and forth a little bit to New York. But coaching, I mainly coach via Skype. It's rarely that I coach people in person because they're all over.
Right.
And I actually like that diversity, so I like that to work with people from different cultures, from different locations. So, yeah, very exciting. I like that.
Yeah. And do you manage to use the cards, the points of view cards, even with Skype? I've figured out a way to do that.
It's so funny. I use them all the time, also for myself, or just if I have a weird day, I just pull a card.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we should do that. Let's just pick a card for the rest of the evening. God, I hope it's a good one. Passion. All right, my card is passion.
So what does that tell you for today?
Passion is the coaching game, and I'll tell you why. Because not only am I taping a show tonight with you, my show is broadcasting tonight at 8:30, so that's enough of the coaching game for me. So you pick a card, and let's. Obviously, this is my passion.
That is your passion. That's a great
beginning. Okay.
Well, it's a beginning of a new way how I'm going to work.
Yeah, isn't that exciting? It's just I don't know. I can never figure out if the mind wraps itself around the cards, or the cards are just magic. I like to think they're magic.
They always work.
And Sabine and I were doing some coaching, and there's I'll call it the little sister of the coaching game with Punctum, and we were both going, did that really just happen? So these are magic cards. We agreed with that. I want to thank you so much. We have no time left, and I want to thank you so much this was a whole experiment, but I didn't want to do it with anybody but Sabine because we do a lot of stuff together, and I knew we were kind of on the same mind track, and so I thank you so much for being on the coaching.
Thanks for coaching me and finding a solution for me.
Well, I can't wait. I hope in your spare time you'll give me a Skype call. And
using the extra time now.
Exactly. And we'll do it. So thank you so much for being on the coaching game. You were wonderful.